Today we focus on Town Hall 10 BOWLER 3-star attack strategies. I'm your host, Judo Sloth. Make sure to go ahead and subscribe for all of my Clash of Clans videos. The replays you are going to see are from Elite Gaming's CWL Week 1 matchup against Dark Looters Z. Now we've been having fantastic success with the bowlers utilizing that troop at Town Hall 10, so we're going to show you some of the best strategies today. The first one we're looking at with you is the BoWLER-Witch combination, and this is a fantastic example by Jethro, really taking advantage of the base design. The whole premise of this strategy is bringing bowlers and witches around the outside of the base. You can see on either side, free from air defense, they're able to create a funnel as the main pack of bowlers and witches come through the middle of the base, and on this one, really using two jump spells. That's going to be key with any kind of mass bowler armies. We do have a couple of different strategies coming up though, guys. Key in terms of getting through the base is a couple of jump spells. So looking at these two, you can see how we provided access all the way through the base. Now utilizing rage spells alongside them bowlers meant that we could take down a lot of the defenses in that area, and then you tend to have troops coming around the outside or your archer queen in order to clean up the rest. So at this point we have a ton of bowlers, an archer queen that hasn't had her ability used. This base is done, guys. So that is the BoWitch Attack Strategy. We'll show you another example a little bit later on, but let's move on to using the bowlers alongside different strategies. We've got Lavaloon, Hog Riders, mass bowlers, all of them coming up, guys, so make sure to stick around. Moving down here then to base number 22, this is the Lavaloon attack strategy. So bowlers in different attack strategies are very common and very powerful in order to set up your base. You're going to use them as part of a kill squad. So you can see Judo here coming in with the golem in order to tank this area. The single target infernos are right out of the way, so he's going to get brilliant value out of that golem. As we move a bit north and there's more risk of the golem locking onto the single target inferno, clearly we wouldn't want that, so a couple of giants will suffice, just enough to set that funnel and bring the bowlers into the middle. So a few wizards and things you will need for this, guys, because the bowlers need to get into the base. You can see from this point that what they can do alongside the heroes and the rage spell is take out a massive area of the base. They've managed to take out the enemy CC and the enemy archer queen, as well as, in combination with the heroes, two of the air defense, both of the inferno towers and both of the air sweepers. That is massive, alongside creating a path for the Lavaloon. At that point, guys, if you're, not experts at Lavaloon, but if you know what you're doing, this should all be clockwork to you. Bringing the lava hounds in at separate angles towards them air defense. You really want to set off them air bombs as much as possible, and look at the spread of the spells. You don't want them overlapping, guys, otherwise you're wasting them. There are a few defenses at the end here, but no splash damage, nothing which is going to cause these balloons any kind of issue. As they move over the final ones though, we do have a haste spell just to help them through, and obviously a few minions are very important for cleanup right over on the opposite side of the base here, as it would take balloons forever to get back over there. But where the high hit point storages are, just a couple of extra balloons for cleanup in order to take them out, and a very comfortable and very successful 3-star attack there, using the bowlers to get in and set up that Lavaloon attack. Now quite similar, you can use the bowlers in order to set up Hog Rider attacks. This base by Swiggle was taken down very successfully with the Hog Riders. Now what's the difference between Lavaloon and Hog Rider? It all depends on the base setup. You can see here it's a little bit more compact, the air defense are a little bit trickier to take out as part of a kill squad as such, depending on how you look at it. So it really is the base design, what you can get out of them spells. The heal spells will really help the Hog Riders here. Now I want to show the importance of setting off a couple of them giant bombs around the outside there, using just a couple of giants. Again, that's massive for the Hog Riders at this point. I mentioned in the last replay how wizards set your funnel, but you can use baby dragons, you can see, very effectively in order to gain that raged bonus when they're by themselves, or a single bowler can actually take out numerous buildings. Check out how this one is able to take out a couple of buildings in order for the rest of the bowlers to come in. Once it's safe, guys, you need an access point into the base. If that jump spell wasn't down, the bowlers might have still been tended to walk around the outside. However, with the jump spell alongside them heroes, they are into the base itself, getting a lot of value here in terms of, again, the enemy queen and CC. Hog Riders are already in because, as you guys have seen in my Town Hall 10 Hog Rider videos, if you can protect your kill squad, particularly your archer queen, it's going to massively help with cleanup. And again, the bowlers here, they're taking out a couple of key objectives, but they are also carving an area of the base. Because Hog Riders, similarly to the balloons, only target defenses, you can track exactly where they're going to go. And the reason you want to do that is so that you can put them spells in and use them effectively, so we know that the Hog Riders are going to get to this area last, and we use the heal spell right over them defenses to really get all of the Hog Riders. There's no others around there. We could see they were in a group, and the poison spell there as well, guys. In terms of them skeleton traps, they often pop and can do a lot of damage on your Hog Riders, particularly if they've been taking damage from splash, so the poison spell is very useful. Again, similarly to the Lavaloon, you want some cleanup troops. Wizards are ideal in this because Hog Riders will have set off any of the ground based traps, so your wizards should have an easy ride. But as you can see on this one, absolutely beast. A very, very nice use of the bowlers to attempt to break open a couple of walls, but they got in, they did their job, guys, and that is the focus of this video. Now, actually, I wanted to stick with the Hog Riders. We do have a mass bowler attack, which I'll show you in a second, just basically bowlers other than cleanup and funnel troops, so the mass bowler attack does certainly still work. But again, for the Hog Riders, it's my favourite attack strategy at Town Hall 10 right now, and the bowlers can be used very nicely. You can use mass Hog Riders, but the bowlers can be used very nicely to get in there, particularly if you have a centralised clan castle and queen that you need to take out. The bowlers can obviously do a very nice job. So again, using one bowler at the top there in order to create a massive funnel, and that is all what's needed. Them couple of buildings have taken that out, and the wizards on the opposite side, but again, you need the access point into the base. You do not want your bowlers walking around and locking onto a defense or a whatever is just on the inside of the base. You actually need them to go in to get that value. So here they come. Even a clan castle of bowlers can be enough alongside your king and queen once you know where they are going to go. Poison spell, obviously very helpful onto that enemy CC. Queen goes down. We're just going to clutch that single target inferno, but honestly, guys, I think we'd have got it anyway. But just look at the destruction these bowlers alongside the heroes have done. They've carved out that massive area, and when the Hog Riders come in from the bottom, you can just track exactly where they're going to go. They only target defenses, so they're going to move right the way around this area and end up at the north in the end. That means that they're going to stick together, and as you can see, you can pre-plan where you want the heal spells, precisely where splash damage are, where there's massive amounts of damage coming in onto your groups of Hog Riders, and because they are together, it means that you are using the heal spells to their full potential. You're healing all of your Hog Riders instead of just a group. So as we move to the end here, that final heal spell goes down. Again, you can get through the odd defense at the end with your Hog Riders with little health, really, as long as there's nothing else there in order to take them down. Again, that skeleton trap pops though, but it is little too late. Put the poison spell onto the king in order to slow him down when we could have put it onto the skeleton spells at the end had we have known it was there, obviously. However, cleanup troops are already in at the bottom. Get them troops in, guys. As soon as the Hog Riders are in, then you know that there's no traps or anything in that area. There's no defenses. Get your cleanup troops in. Start, you know, getting rid of the rest of the base. So there you are, another beautiful Hog Rider attack. We have two more left to show you, a mass bowler attack and a BoWitch attack. Whilst we're down here, guys, let's show you that BoWitch attack by one of our expert BoWitch attackers. You've seen him on the channel, TT. He is a beast at this. Then we'll move to that mass bowler attack to finish off. So as we've mentioned, we've focused on this. We have an attack strategy guide purely for this method, and you want to start off again. Very, very important. I hope I've stressed this enough through this video. You really need that funnel set for the bowlers, guys. That is probably, whether you're using mass bowlers, Hog Riders, Lavaloon, the BoWitch, it's the single most important thing. If your bowlers walk around the side, you might as well say goodnight. So as the funnel starts to be created here, basically what TT is after is his bowlers and witches walking around the outside and his main group coming through the middle. So again, as we mentioned, and I believe it was the first attack, the air defense placement is key for the BoWitch attack. So having a couple of healers go around with the bowlers and witches on the outside is going to be perfectly safe here. Then we have access through the base with them jump spells. The massive bowlers come in once that access point is down in terms of the jump spells. It then turns a little bit crazy, but honestly guys, it's not that bad. Get the poison spell on the troops, get the rage spell on the bowlers. Beautiful here, using the skeleton spell to distract the single target inferno. I know there's a bomb tower there specifically placed there in order to try and stop that strategy and stop that little trick of using the skeleton spell, but honestly it worked good enough to distract it away from the bowlers, away from the queen. Once it's down, just look at all of the troops that are left. Bowlers again trying to smash through this wall because clearly they can't reach anything that the queen can reach. But at this point, for the bowler and witch attack, really guys, you only need your bowlers in the middle to hollow out the core, if you will. Once them defenses are down, you can see bowlers and witches on the outside are quite comfortable here. Obviously the queen stepping up and helping out, but they would be able to take out them final defenses. And honestly guys, if your bowlers go down in the middle, as long as it's planned enough, that's almost what happens. Often you can send your queen around the outside if there's a lot of splash damage and the bowlers and witches are going to struggle, but it all is again dependent on the base. So let's move up, show you that mass bowler attack, and then we will wrap up the video. So mass bowlers does still work, but again guys, you do need to set this up, particularly the funnel, as we've stressed. Now this archer tower can be sniped with just a couple of balloons, so I really like the use of taking that out, and then not only does it snipe that off so that there's not really another defense that the bowlers can get stuck on at the end, we can then take out a lot of these buildings in order to help with percent. Now again, the queen walk is massive in terms of helping the bowlers. She can take out this air defense and take out a lot of point defense, a lot of splash damage without even being troubled. Again, access right the way through the base is very important. So here comes the jump spell. Rage spells are key for your bowlers, guys. When they're in such a big group like that, they're really going to get massive benefit. Look, they took out that bomb tower from like the opposite side of the base. They do so much damage under rage when you have a group of them. You want to get your rage spells in nice and early whilst you have a lot of the bowlers there. And the heal spells are equally as important, guys. They can really help boost your bowlers, especially if you know there's giant bombs or anything like that in the center. You might want to consider taking a heal spell, or if there is multi-target infernos, guys, you won't see it often now, but multi-target infernos you can still heal through with them bowlers, so it's not as big of an issue. You can still get the mass bowlers or the BoWitch attacks to work. But again, similarly to the BoWitch attack, we have the queen coming around the end of the base here with them healers, and that is actually what finishes it off. As we said in the last one, the bowlers have hollowed out the core. The queen can now reach the remaining buildings and the remaining defenses. Love the use of that baby dragon though, just sneaking in, taking that out, particularly since there was only going to be that archer tower. Once the baby dragon has that down, can then take the rest of the ground defenses, and it is good night. So I hope you have enjoyed that one, guys, focusing specifically on the bowlers at Town Hall 10 for the 3 stars. This was an amazing war between Elite Gaming and Dark Looters Z. Again, if you want to join us, all of the information for Elite Gaming is in our clan description, but that will wrap it up for this one, guys. I hope you've enjoyed watching. I've been your host, Judo Sloth, and until next time, peace out.